Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Let's get some music going up in here. Alexa. She's almost awake. Here we go. It's a beautiful day.
So you're in a hurry? Well, you better calm down. We're all friends around you, just join the fun. 'Cause if you're in a hurry, you're missing the point. Should enjoy the fruits of life instead of chasing coins. Because it's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
Isn't it all? So come on, let's play. Forget the rush you're in and find a good spot. Sit down and join us as we sing a good song. Keep back, relax, and just follow along.
Here right now.
Oh, we got plenty of time. Taking it easy won't cost you a dime. Throw another log onto the fire. Because it's a beautiful day. You know, come on, let's play.
If we are streaming, if anybody's finding it, please share it out. 'Cause this is just crazy. There we go. I see it now. I don't see anybody else other than Catherine on here. All right, let me see if I can share it. I think, Catherine, you just shared it to, or Andrea, I think you may be on here. Did you share it to the group? And let me see if I can find Deirdre so we can get her sharing this out. All right, we have a few people that found it. You know, I noticed yesterday that Facebook had really changed a lot of stuff. And one of them is the videos, the lives. Turn my ringer off so it'll quit dinging. It doesn't ding to wake me up, but it dings when I get on the air. So it's all good. Cheers, everybody. We're just going to have a good time, no matter what, right? So let's see who we got on here. Oh my gosh, Stacy. Our Stacy Lord is here on YouTube. Oksana, Kathleen, good morning, YouTubers. Thank you for being on. Annie7, good morning, sweet Annie, and thank you for sharing. Kathy Hand, good morning. Cheers to you. Who else? Suzanne. Good morning, Suzanne. And Deirdre, there you are. Marietta, my beautiful heart lady, is here. Oh, so good to have you all on here. Yeah, it's going to be probably low numbers until we figure out the algorithm and figure out what the heck Facebook is trying to do. But I know they're changing so much stuff. So, yeah, if y'all want to jump onto YouTube, I really encourage that, because I don't know if this is even being shared out. When we do share it, I don't know where it's going, because they've changed everything now on Facebook. So thank you to people that are on YouTube this morning. At least I know that we're getting out that way. So let's go into our hearts. Let's just take a moment and settle down my energy, because y'all know how upset I get with technology and with when things aren't working right. Yeah, I know, Annie. That's the thing. They have changed. They sent me a message. I guess they sent it to all of us yesterday and said that they were changing things. And from what I had heard, what was out in social media was they're trying to keep up with TikTok and Snapchat and some of the other apps that are more user-friendly. You know, Facebook had become very not user-friendly. So now they're trying to do something and change things so that it's different, but it's making it more difficult for us to find each other in the mornings. Oh, really, Deirdre? You can't comment on YouTube? Oh, I didn't realize that. Pat Moss, good afternoon. Oh, Annie, I know. Thank God we have our group, right? And we can share the information in there of where to go to find the live. All right, so let's do the heart brain coherence and just hold somebody in your heart when you're doing this, and maybe they'll find us and jump on here. So let's see. Let's just take a moment and see if we can settle the energy and also call in our beautiful family. So hand on the heart and slow down the breathing. And add in the love. Send that love out from your heart. I'm just going to take a moment to do this and just see what comes up for you. See what you feel in that moment that you're just focused on the breath, focused on the love. What is your heart saying to you? And as you focus on love, I want you to know that you are loved. You do matter. You are important. There's a reason you're here. There is a purpose for everything on earth, everything that happens. There's a purpose to it. So your being here at this moment in time is to love each other. That's the purpose. So as you send that love heart to heart, just allow yourself to give and allow yourself to receive. Oh, Annie, peace be still. Yes. When we're still, we can hear. When we're still, we can receive. If we're constantly busy with our thinking and with what we're doing, we're not giving ourselves the gift of receiving. And that's what I want this time together, this particular broadcast of the Morning Cuppa. I want it to always be receiving love. I want it to always be where you leave here full. Your cup is so full of love, of joy, of compassion for each other and for the world. So if you brought a cup in, just envision it being filled up totally with the love that we share here with each other. So cheers, everyone. Drink from that cup. And Annie says, I am surely feeling God's presence with us all. Me too, Annie. I just feel every morning when we come together, where we have, whether we have 5 people or 25 people, I feel the love of the divine just shining the light. And whoever's supposed to be here will be here. And that's what I put out. Whoever's supposed to be gathered together will show up. Ricky, good morning. Suzanne Millard, hi there. And Auntie Jean, welcome. I'm on Angel speakers, but a little delayed. Okay. You know, that's the problem with streaming on social media, because it is just a little bit delayed from the time that I say something to the time that it comes out over the air. Let's see what Kuan Yin has to say this morning. Boy, has she been spot on every day. Every day, the message from her has been exactly what we needed to hear. And I'm loving this new deck, the Wild Kuan Yin. I love that. Kathy Hand, I picture God smiling at our family. Me too. I do. I just know that there is such a beautiful, beautiful energy. When we gather together, something happens, something magical takes place, where there's a big bright light that shines out, and that light is love. That's the love that we hold in our heart. So, all right, let's see what the Master Kuan Yin wants us to hear today. And it is, we've had this one before, but it's a beautiful message that she wants us to know. The phoenix will rise. Good morning, Joanne Castillo. You are not permitted to enter into the divine fire of personal transformation unless you are capable and worthy of the challenge. The reward bestowed at the other side of the journey is such that all suffering throughout is redeemed. No matter what struggle you have endured, you shall rise again. This is your destiny. Boy, is she talking to me with this struggle. You know, last night when I was writing the blog, my heart was so heavy. And I really hope that you all will read today's blog, or that you'll listen to me read it when I do it this afternoon at 4:44, because what I found out just broke my heart. And, you know, there's something that can be done. That's the thing. It's like when we find out about something, sometimes there is nothing that can be done. Sometimes we don't understand, but it's not always our job to understand things. But when we find out about something that's going on and we can actually make a difference, we can do something, then it becomes personal as a challenge for me. I'm like, yeah, I know there's things that can be done. I know that I can speak up and speak out and make a difference. And we all have to do that. We have to do that. And, you know, it's a matter of how important is our world? How important is Mama Gaia to us? Personally, collectively, do we care? And if we don't care, then okay, so be it. You know, we'll keep having things disappear off of our planet. We'll keep having endangered species and extinction if we don't care. And that's what the angels were saying, to not take any action. That is an action. And I realized that years ago, to not speak up, to not do something when we know we can do something, is a decision that we make. We might think, oh, it doesn't matter if I do something. It doesn't matter what happens if I, make a change, or if I just keep going the way I'm going and things keep disappearing. It does matter. And what I'm finding in research, it matters if we have butterflies. It matters if we have all the species of birds that we have. It matters if we're here. So there are things we can do. And Kathy, you read it. Yeah. And it's just so sad. It's so heartbreaking to me that, it doesn't have to be. That's my passion right now. That's where I'm at and where I'm coming from right now. It doesn't have to be this way. Jean, where are you all? Let's see. Well, we have 11 people on Angel Speakers, Jean. And then we have a lot of people on YouTube this morning. And I suppose everybody else is over at EWN, One with the Earth, which I'm hoping we all become one with the earth and realize that we matter. What we do, what we say, our actions do make a difference. Deirdre, you read it too. It is heartbreaking. And, that particular butterfly, it's my favorite butterfly. I absolutely love them. And I've seen so many of them up close and personal. And the lady that I mentioned, Tina Vallant, she's a very dear friend of mine in Florida. And she taught me actually what you can do to keep more of them safe, because she does it. She has mesh enclosures in her yard, in her backyard, and she puts the caterpillars in there so that they don't get eaten by birds. Actually, the birds don't like those caterpillars. That was one thing I did find out, that they actually contain a bit of poison. And when the other birds and animals eat them, it's not good for them. So that's why they don't get eaten as much by the predators, but they get killed by us, the humans. So go figure, right? And the other thing that I read that I thought was so interesting is, they're so colorful. They're like our most colorful butterfly. And that color indicates to predators that they might be dangerous. So they leave them alone. The predators know to leave them alone. Why can't us humans get that same message to care for them and take care of them and stop doing the things that are going to destroy them? And Kathy says, lately we have more of the yellow swallowtail. One recently visited Colin up close and got stuck in our garage, and Colin carefully collected it on a towel and set it free. Thank you, Colin, for doing that act of love, because that is an act of love when you can help a creature. Been talking a lot about the animals and the ones who can't speak up the way we hear the spoken word. We have those that don't have a voice, and we have to be that voice for the voiceless. And that's what I'm trying to be right now. And that's what God has put on my heart, is to really hold these beautiful, beautiful beings of love and light, and help more people to understand that we're not going to have them very long if we don't change things. we don't change what we're doing, our actions that we're doing as a collective, then we're going to see more and more of the things that are alive, the things that are living here on Earth. We're going to see more of it disappearing. And that's what we're seeing with climate change. It's really making a huge difference in things that depend on certain things to survive, like milkweed for the butterflies. And there are other flora that the other butterflies live off of, and the bees. The bees have been on my heart for years because they've been dwindling in numbers. So let's take care of our world. Let's take care of everything on it that has breath. And that was the angel message, to really have that compassion, to be of a compassionate heart. I can't remember who said the quote, but there's a quote that somebody said, and I don't know the exact words, but it's, you can tell what a people are like, their essence, by how they treat the animals, and especially how they treat those that are so helpless, like the butterflies. Kathy says he felt as if a presence was with him, a spirit of perhaps a loved one. I see that a lot when the butterflies come to me, and they do come up close and personal. So do the dragonflies, and they're all messengers. Spirit can use anything at all that has energy. They can use that to communicate with us, to give us that message from beyond. So yeah, let's make sure that we have our butterflies and our dragonflies. The butterflies, they're only here for a minute, seriously. And I saw a beautiful quote that the butterfly flutters for a minute, and to them, that is a lifetime. That minute that they're here, fluttering their wings, showing us their beauty, and doing what they do. They help our ecology. They help our earth so much. Just in that minute that they're living, they pollinate, they absorb carbon dioxide. They do so much to help us. Why can't we do a little bit to help them? So yeah, I'm going to be on a soapbox. Y'all can get used to it. I am going to be that voice that speaks out, that says, hey, enough. We can do something here. We can turn this around. We can get them off of the endangered species list in a heartbeat. And all we have to do is pay attention to what's necessary. Suzanne says, I rescued a centipede this morning. It wasn't fun, but I love animals or insects. I do too. I just have this real tenderness in my heart because, if we don't take care of them, and, there's certain animals who can't take care of themselves, who wouldn't survive if they didn't have food and, a food source. And so it is up to us. If it's to be, it's up to us. And, I just feel like everything happens for a reason. So I think now the fact that we know this, we know that the monarchs are endangered, can't we do something? Can't we do something to help this situation? And so I'm going to be educating. That's the one part that I know I can do, and we all can do that. We can share the heck out of that blog. We can get it out in front of more people so they can understand what's going on and understand that we have a responsibility to our earth to help those that don't have a voice. Stacy, you got kicked off, but you're back. Oh, Stacy, my heart is so full that you are here on the morning show with us. We really miss you when you're not here. Thank you for being here. And Oksana says, I would like to share this message from my Facebook group that was channeled. You are not paying attention. You ignore my creatures, my children. Open your eyes and stop. Stop now. Listen to the plants, the rocks, and the creatures, the ancestors. They are wise. Cradle a flower, close your eyes and listen. Pick up a rock, put it under your pillow and dream. See a bird nearby and ask her for her message. Open your heart to your ancestors. The ears of your heart will hear them. Love yourselves. This is not failure on your part, just a living in a different direction. You must turn your attention toward listening to love. Ignore the rest and know that all will be well. Do this now. Thank you. Thank you, Oksana, for sharing that message. And it goes right along with the blog and what the angels said to us in that blog. We all have a responsibility. That's what they're saying. And if we do an inaction, that is an action. That's adding to the problem and not to the solution. So yeah, there's a big push right now from Spirit for us to pay attention, to wise up and wake up, wake the heck up and see what's right in front of us, see what's going on, so that we can have survival of all the species that are needed for our environment, to help pollinate other plants and other things that are dependent on that for survival. So thank you. Thank you for your words. Suzanne says in the Northeast, plant milkweed. That's what the monarchs feed off of. They can eat a whole milkweed plant in one day. So it takes a lot for these caterpillars to get to the point of changing, transforming from that form that they're in to the monarch, which will then go about pollinating other plants and flowers. Ricky and Josie, good morning to you. He says, grow hemp instead of cotton. No pesticides in growing hemp. Yeah, the pesticide is one of the enemies. It's one of the things that's destroying our wildlife and destroying the plants that we love so much. So thank you, Ricky, for that. Suzanne. I also put bird baths out for the birds, and they come every day to drink and bathe, especially in this heat. I saw a wonderful TikTok video yesterday of a bird that just had heat exhaustion, and it couldn't even fly. It couldn't even stand. It was laying on the ground, and this wonderful Samaritan had a bottle of water and just kept pouring some water at the bird's beak. And I believe it was a hawk. It was a bigger bird and just had given in to the heat exhaustion. And so this guy was pouring water so that the bird could have some hydration. And it did get back up and it did fly off. So there's things we can do. And thank you, Suzanne, for putting the water out. The butterflies need water as well. And so do the bees. Everything needs water. Everything is not going to survive if we don't have the water available. And that's the climate change part. We either have too much of it or not enough of it, right? There are so many extremes here on our planet. Out west, it's such a drought. And thank God they've had a little bit of rain here in El Paso this week. And I think, Jean, there's going to be a little more. I really feel that, even though iWeather app says there's not going to be any. Jean's weather app says there is going to be. And we're like, okay, it's dueling apps right now. Why can't these weathermen get their act together and all say the same thing? Luz, good morning to you. Namaste, sweet one. Catherine says the birds and the deer outside get fed every day. Thank you for that. Make sure there's water out for them too, because I know the deer also get parched and get heat exhaustion. So let's take care of our ones that can't care for themselves. The ones that can't fend for themselves need us, and we can do everything in our power if we're aware. And that's the thing, is the awareness. And that's where I have really realized that the angels have placed some of this stuff on my heart to bring to us, so we understand that we have a responsibility. Once we know, we can't unknow. Once we realize now that the monarchs are extinct, or not extinct yet, they're endangered, we can do something. It's not at the point of no return right now. Once they become extinct, yes, but they're not extinct. They are endangered. And the difference is we still have an opportunity. We still have a chance to help. And Auntie Jean says, my app wins. Yeah, it does win, because it did rain last night. It thundered and it lightning. The lightning was awesome. I loved watching that. And Jean says, one time, a long time ago, the monarchs stopped in my garden on their migration. They just covered a chase tree. It was a living, beautiful movie. It was fantastic. You know, there's a place in, I want to say it's in California. Pretty sure it's California, where they stop on their migration. And there's actually people that take tours to go see it when it happens, because they cover these trees to where it looks like the whole tree is moving. There's that many monarchs that cover it. Well, there used to be, I don't think there will be ongoing until we actually make some changes. But I kept wanting to be there at the time when they were going to migrate, and I kept missing the timeline. So one of these days, I think I may get to see the monarch migration. I'm so glad you got to see that, Jean. Yeah, I can imagine how beautiful that must be, just to see that and to observe it. Pat Moss says, my husband won't fix the garage roof as it has puddles on top of it for the birds. Oh, Pat Moss, thank you to your husband. Thank you to him for looking out for the creatures of the world. And Catherine says, yes, I have a bird bath outside and fresh water every day. Thank you for doing that. Annie says, I have water container out and bird feeder. And yesterday, Grayson maybe said, Mom, look, the squirrel drinking. He calls him Spidey and the hummingbird and a hummingbird feeder. I can't wait to see that. And maybe Grayson can show us that when we show up this week. And Jean says, it's a little thing to feed the birds every day, but what joy it gives you. It absolutely does. All right, so I see it's time for our prayers, and big travel prayers for Jean and myself as we get ready to head out tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. I am so happy that we are going to be seeing the people we're going to see along the way, and then gather together up in Vermont. This morning, I'm taking care of the Angel Mobile, and she's going in for an oil change right after the morning show. And I've already given her a bath. I think she needs another one, though. I was noticing yesterday there was a lot of dust that's collected, but that's the nature out here in the desert. It's going to get dirty, so I have to give it another bath before we hit the road. Kathleen, so sad that these beautiful creatures of God are endangered. Otto Bear just reminded me that his polar bear relatives are endangered also. Absolutely, Kathleen, I know that. And I was really sad to see the video the other day of the polar bear that got its tongue stuck in a can. And I don't know, I don't know what the outcome. I know somebody helped it, but I don't know if there was, you know, something that happened with its tongue. But, you know, we have to stop throwing garbage on the ground. That's the other thing that is important for us to realize also. Suzanne said the angels will be on the move. Yes, we will. We'll be flying, putting our wings on that vehicle and moving down the road. Deirdre, thank you for the prayers for travel safety and prayers for all humans, for Gaia, and for world peace. Oksana says the migration routes for the monarchs, eastern and western routes, go all to one place. Yeah, they do. They need to go where they can survive, and they wouldn't be able to survive in the frozen weather, the cold snow and ice. And Jean Lorio says, Grayson, we are coming, sweetheart. Can't wait to see you. Absolutely. All right, let's go into our prayer time. Remembering, and I think this message has to do with what we're talking about, the Kuan Yin message. I'm going to read it again. The phoenix will rise. You know, this is a struggle right now that the monarchs are going through and other species who are endangered. You're not permitted to enter into the divine fire of personal transformation unless you are capable and worthy of the challenge. The reward bestowed at the other side of the journey is such that all suffering throughout is redeemed. No matter what struggle you have endured, you shall rise again. This is your destiny. I believe that we are brought things to our attention so that we can know what we can do and look at how we can find a solution to it. So I know that the monarchs will rise again. Let's just see them as that beautiful phoenix and see them rising up from this, what has happened with their species. And let's do everything we can in our power to assist them, to help them to have a chance for survival. So as we go into our hearts, let's just raise our vibration. You know, my heart's been very heavy ever since I heard the news about it. And as I was writing the blog last night, I was just very emotional, thinking about never being able to see one of them again. That really hurt my heart. So now we need to raise our vibration so we can find the solution, so we can work together and see what can be done, what is possible. And I believe anything is possible. We live in a world of unlimited potential. Let's tap into that. Let's go into our hearts. Let's ask for help from the divine, asking Source God, our creator, who has created everything, to help us to understand how to take care of the ones that can't take care of themselves. Help us have a burden to stop doing the things that are destructive to other living beings that we're coexisting with. Let's call on Divine Mother to really help us to have more compassion, have more understanding. And let's call on Christ consciousness, that consciousness will help us all to raise our vibration, raise our frequency, know what to do and how to do it, and to help each other to spread the word throughout our world of what can be done, of what is possible. Let's ask our angels to help as those beautiful creatures migrate. We ask the angels to help make a path, to help everything to fall the way it needs to fall. And the same for us as we make our paths throughout life, as we have our journey of migration wherever we go, whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally. We're asking for help as we go about our journeys. that we may know the right place to be at the right time. We may know what's good for us and stay away from what's not good. So we're just asking for help today. We're asking for clearing of the energy field. We're asking to be filled with God's love today, with compassion, with care, with holding everything that has energy as sacred. May every being on this planet, no matter what the form it's in, may we see it and hold it as a sacred life and give honor and glory to the fact that it was created. And how do we treat that creation? How do we treat each other? And the way we treat each other shows how we treat our planet, how we treat everything on the planet. So our prayer going up today is for everything on earth that has life, everything that has energy. Let us just love it and honor it and respect it. And all of those that are going through the fire right now, not just the monarchs, but everything that's facing the struggles, every human that's facing a struggle that's been brought to our attention. We want to lift everything up right now such that the energy of peace, of love, of divine perfection can come through. And thank you. Thank you to everyone who gathered with us today. Thank you for everyone who lifts up your brother or your sister that's hurting, someone who's going through a struggle. We can make a difference. When we go into our hearts and we send that love from our heart, it makes a difference because we're sending it out through our energy field. And that goes out into the collective energy. And if you hold somebody in your heart and you send that love right into their heart, they're going to feel it. It's going to impact them. And we have members of our beautiful family that aren't here today. I'm thinking of Blue. I'm thinking of Linda Lemieux, those who we know struggle. Linda's getting ready to sell her house, so there's a lot of work involved in that. And so we're asking for energy for her. I'm thinking of our Hope, our beautiful Hope in the UK, and the physical struggles she's been going through. Let's send love right to her heart, letting her know she's not alone in this struggle, that we see her, we acknowledge her, and that we want the very best in her life. And yes, Suzanne, thank you. We all could pledge to do one thing to save the monarchs. I will plant milkweed. Thank you, Suzanne, for making that pledge. You know, more of us that know what to do and are educated on what to do, we can decide what's tugging at our heart. What is it that we can do? And there's so much. There is a lot we can do. And that I feel like is a burden that's been placed on my heart by Spirit to just really do more educating about what can we do, what can be done. And I really have a burden for human trafficking to end, for us to be more aware of what's happening and take care when we see something to say something. July 30th is coming up, and that is a day of awareness for human trafficking. So I'm putting a challenge out to anybody who wants to accept it to put something on social media, any post at all. It could be a sentence from you. It can be the signs to look for. It can be anything at all to bring more attention to our world of what we can do to make a difference. So that's my challenge for the 30th, which is coming up in just a few days. And let's all make a difference. We can change the world. We will change the world if we start taking action. So thank you. Thank you to all who rise up to that challenge. And now we have a challenge to do our to do our heart telephone, where we send that love to each one that's gathered here today. Thank you to all who were able to find it. As we were saying earlier, there's things that have changed on social media, and it makes it more difficult to find the lives and to share them out and for it to get out in front of more people. So the more we interact when we're on here, the more you like what's going on the lives. You can hit that like button. That makes a difference in the algorithm. It makes a difference in where Facebook shows it and how much they put it out in front of a bigger audience. So if you hit the like button, that tells the powers that be at Facebook, hey, this is something to pay attention to. So I want everybody right now, just hit the like button. Just say, yes, I like this. So Facebook will say, oh, let me pay attention to what's going on with it. So yeah, there's a lot we can do. There's a lot of action we can take. It doesn't cost us anything, right? It's just an effort. It's just an energy that we can do, but it will make a huge difference. All right, so I'm going to get off of here. And oh, thank you, Deirdre, on YouTube. More of this, please. And there is a like button on YouTube as well. All right, so I'll be back on at 4:44 today. I will be coming on to read that beautiful blog. I would love as much support as I can get when I go on at 4:44. I'll be on all social media. I'm trying to hit it all so we can get more people gathered together. I also will be on a program at 12:30 Eastern Time today. It's called Mindplore, and it's a panel discussion. I've been asked to be on the panel today because we're talking about miracles. So if you would love to hear that, I will take a minute to share it out. Once we go live, I'll share it to all of you and in the messenger and let you know where it's at. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I love you. I love you immensely. And let's get Leo going. Let's get him singing to us this morning with a Cuppa Fulla Joy. Oh, I agree with you, Jean Lorio. Let's expand this family out.
It's time to get up and get ready, because today's the perfect day to have a great day. Here we go, come on, come on. Come on, let's play, it's a beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, might as well be part of it. One on peace for peace, on our mission for harmony. You and me, mama, be on the lead, wherever we may be. I create a portal where we can be together. The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Waiting on the guys, the angels and the masters. Take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the bees and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the bees and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a Cuppa Fulla Joy, give me a Cuppa Fulla. Give me a Cuppa Fulla Joy, give me a Cuppa Fulla. Cuppa Fulla Joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top. Here, the coffee's always hot and the trust is always yours. Just the sun is calling out to play, let's put on a show. Today's a new day, we all part of this game. Let's play to win. Love always is the winning team, and you can side with us. There is always no space in the pot for more love. Take a spot and get the day started. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the bees and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the bees and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a Cuppa
Everywhere I go, I want to take videos of the animals, beautiful pets, angels in the fur, and let's get them all known on TikTok. I'm talking
really is no secret. We simply accept, align, allow. Triple A, morning cuppa full of joy every day. Just start the day on a high five, we call the triple A. Morning cuppa full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cuppa full of joy every day. Just start the day on a high five, we call the triple A. Morning cuppa full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste.
Woo is right. Thank you, Leo. Can I ask you all to do me a favor? I know we lost quite a few of the audience, but those of you that are still here, would you share out that blog? Just share it out. If each person gives it a share, more people will see it. And maybe your friends will see it and they'll share it with their friends. Let's get that message out everywhere we can get it out. This is what the angels want. They want everybody knowing that there's something we can do, that this doesn't have to end in a bad way, that right now those butterflies are endangered. We don't want them to become extinct. So if you'll share that message out, it'll get to more people and we'll get some things started. Let's start a revolution of helping our butterflies and taking care of them. Thank you to all who will share that. Thank you so much also for coming on today at 4:44 so that we can get it to reaching a different audience and a bigger audience in that way. I love you all so much. You're in my heart. And stay in your heart and stay blessed. Namaste, y'all. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Deirdre, for sharing it. I love you so much.